Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at my predictions for the NFL draft. We're going to be taking a look. A lot of things have changed since the last time, so let's take a look and let's see. Okay, start draft. And first, I mean, I don't think that he's going to be. He's been playing that well. I think Bears need to take Caleb Williams. I feel like he's the overall best player. He's a player that you got to take. So you got to take Caleb Williams here. I feel like that's the best pick. Caleb's just such a phenomenal athlete that you can't really pass up on him. Now, right here, people are saying Giants should take a quarterback. Giants should, you know, take Drake May in this position. I don't think that that's something this team is going to do. I don't believe that that's the right decision. Daniel Jones is young, and this season has been filled with a lot of injuries. Yes, he hasn't put when he's been healthy. He hasn't been the best, but they just signed into a 4-year, really expensive deal. You're not going to get a quarterback. You're paying him second overall pick money, so that's a decent bit of money. They're going to have to pay for him. Are you going to really take that risk? Probably not. What I am going to say is they're probably going to take the best player in this draft in Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a phenomenal athlete. It's their second most needed position. It's something that they need. Now this team right here, the Patriots, I think what they're struggling with is quarterback play. I feel like that's a huge issue. And I feel like Drake May is going to be the play for them. Drake May has been an absolute beast, and he's just going to be so good. I feel like he's got that potential. Now I can't remember right now, so I'm going to look up this top of my head. Just want to see what their because I'm trying to remember because it's how's their type. Bride is in a second season. They're probably not good. I mean, if I'm them, I'm saying, you know, I mean, I don't think the Cardinals would take Brock Bowers, especially right now, especially after that big injury to him. I don't know if they're going to take him, but it is a huge need for this team. Yeah, Trey McBride, but Brock Bowers, this man is an absolute stud on the field. I can't have him go here. This is not the place for him to go. I don't think that this is the position that they want to be in. I think they'll probably do something, focus more on they don't want to take a receiver here because a lot of the other receivers won't be taken until a little bit later. They do have the potential to take another receiver a little bit later. That's still a solid receiver. This isn't really like a line depth class, but you need a lot of line. If anything, they got to take Olamo Bashima. I feel like that's probably the best pick now. Here, let me just see. Trying to remember who the Bears have at tight end. I think it's Cole Kmet. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's Cole Kmet. They're not going to take They're not going to take Brock Bowers here. Defensive line. They're probably going to take. I don't think Latu is probably the best option. What's Latu? Latu is how old is he? Doesn't give me his age. Looking for senior. There's been a lot of issues with him with injuries I've heard, and I don't think that that's something that this team wants to focus on. They'll probably take, working online, but I don't think Brock Bowers is going to be the pick. I think maybe give CJ Stroud, not CJ Stroud, give Caleb Williams a receiver, and Malik Neighbors has been playing phenomenal, especially for Jaden Daniels this season. Now, right here, this is where I think Brock Bowers is going to go. I think he's going to go to the Packers, keep the G on him. I feel like Brock Bowers with this team will be great. Jordan Love's been playing okay. I think they have another year left. Yeah, they have 2 years. Yeah, they have 2 years left of him under a rookie deal because they could take a 5th-year option. Wait, no wait. I'm trying to think. 2020, 2021, 2022. Oh no. Oh, next year they have his 5th-year option if they decide to take it. Now, this team in the Rams, I think, could go quarterback right here. Bo Nix, really too old. He is a senior. If I'm gonna do anything, I'm not gonna take, Shedeur Sanders probably not even gonna get picked. So what I would say is maybe work on that offensive line, interior offensive line. But you can't. It's just they'll probably take Joe Adele. Probably the best option for them. Defensively. I mean, defensive line. I don't think this team interior defensive line and edge rusher. I mean, you could take the two, but I think maybe Zerhan Newton's probably the best pick for him. Titans definitely need to possibly get receivers. It's a little bit early for receivers, especially when, this is, I would say, a pretty deep receiver class that they need to. They definitely have there's some nice receivers here where you could easily, take, I think, if anything, they're probably going to take Joe Attell. I feel like that's another good position. They need to work on their offensive lines, especially with it all. Now, Falcons, I feel like this is where you work on defense. I think probably this is where you take Latu. I feel like he's one of the better edge rushers, and I feel like he's going to be good. Commanders in this position need a tight end, need offensive line, they took away their best edge rushers. So what I would say is probably they're going to take Chop right here. Get a good edge rusher for this team to work on this defense that's really been really good. Now this team right here, I think what they'll probably do is they'll probably take a quarterback right here, and I don't think that they're going to take a quarterback. Jalen Daniels is he's a senior. Yeah, no, what I will say is take Quinn. They're probably going to take, this is a soup, depending on how Quinn Ewers comes back at play, but I think that Penix is also, you have right now, and probably going to take McCarthy, depending on how he plays the rest of the season. You have a quarterback that could sit behind someone for the following year. You have that potential right now. Right now, I mean, this Jets team, yes, they need a quarterback. I don't think that they need a receiver. I think working on that offensive line, and then Talasi Forga is probably going to be the pick for them. Now, this Broncos team, I don't think that they need really that much. I think what they're going to go in this position is take Jared Verse. Jared Verse, arguably one of the best edge rushers out of this class. I think that taking a corner or secondary players isn't going to be the right play right now. Now, this team right here, the Chargers, I don't think that their secondary play has been okay, but I think they don't really need anything. And I think this is possibly where they take Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is such a dominant player this year, and he's just an absolute animal. Right now, Colts don't have that receiver, don't have that much. I mean, their interior offensive line, but right now this is a terrible draft if you need linemen, especially interior offensive linemen. There is not a lot of good offensive linemen that's going to be taken in the first round, which is surprising. But there might be some teams, but I don't think so. So I think the Colts are probably going to take, they're not going to take, I mean, Keon Coleman's been playing really great this year, but I think they got to take Romeo Uzada because he's just such a good player. Now this team right here, Raiders, depending on how they play the rest of the seasons with Aiden O'Connell back there, they might keep Aiden O'Connell. It all depends. What I will say is they might go running back right here, but this is not a position where you take a running back. It's too high, possibly take Dallas Turner. Let's see what else is down there. Edge, interior defensive line. Let's take a look. I mean, this is probably the position where you take. Yeah, you need interior defensive line. Do you want to take Leonard now, or do you want to? I mean, it all depends on what you think you need. I think working on Dallas Turner might be a good pickup. I feel like he might be the guy for this team. Now let's take a look at this Bills team. What I think is going to be is I don't think they're going to need a quarterback. They're not going to need. They don't. I think that if they're going to do anything, maybe depending on what free agency looks like, with Stephon Diggs possibly wanting out of Buffalo, we don't know. Depending on that situation, that's where we're going to be. So, just saying on what the rumors are going, I'm going to say that the Bills do take Keon Coleman because of it all. Now let's take a look. Bengals need tight end, need tackles, need interior. I think J.C. Latham might be the pick for them. Get a big guy for what is he? He's like 5'6", 6'6", 333. Solid athlete, junior, young, is able to develop, be a good pickup for this team. This Saints team, I mean, you don't want to take a quarterback here. You don't want Leonard Taylor's probably the pick for you. You need a defensive lineman. You need this play. But yeah, who did I have them pick up earlier? I know I had them pick up. Yeah, they picked up a tackle. So tackle's already taken out. I mean, yeah, they might need more receivers. Akeme Ukwaba. I can't even say his name right. He's a solid receiver, so I'm gonna probably have them take him. He's such a good player. Right here, do I think that they'll take Bo Nix? No, I don't think that Bo Nix would probably be the play. I think Bo Nix is not extremely young. He's a senior. This is more of a, if you, you know what? What's the running backs? There's no good running backs in this draft. I think they'll probably take him just because they need a quarterback, and he is just a knowledgeable quarterback there. Now, let's take a look at the Cowboys. Cowboys really need to they need to work on their offensive line. I think it's getting to the point where they're getting up there in age. A lot of their good players, where maybe if they take Graham Burton, who I don't know how he could play, but I mean, he's definitely improved drastically in his gameplay. Hasn't played center, which is not always the best when you need it, but you don't. I don't think that he. Maybe I don't look that deep. I think maybe get Kareem. Kareem is probably one of the better picks for them. This team is, this team definitely maybe working on their secondary, especially with injuries happening and stuff. This team definitely needs DBs. A lot of injuries. Does he play slot? He could play really anywhere except for it does seem like he's played a lot. He plays corner a lot. So let's see. This. Okay, let's take a look at Houston. Houston, I don't think really need a receiver. I think maybe getting Braylon Trice might be a pick for them. Let's see. Let's see how he play. How is he 4.92? He's definitely being a dominant force. Definitely has improved a lot. I think that this is probably going to be a good pick for this team. Dolphins, tight end and offensive line. I think this is where you probably take Graham Burton. I feel like he's been, he specifically plays left tackle, the most important position. This Seahawks team, I think possibly what this team can get, I think probably will take, in my opinion, I think they might take Michael Penix. You have him for a short-term deal. You have him for, it's not that expensive. He's a solid QB, doesn't have to, and, they don't have to do a lot of movement with him. Now, Jacksonville, I think maybe working on their interior line. It's going to be good. Let's see. I mean, probably hasn't played anything other than tackle. It seems like right tackle a lot. It seems like edge DBs, Cooper DeJean is probably the best pick for them. In offensive line, I think maybe this is probably going to be a pick where you take Amarius Mims, who has been a stud this year for the Georgia Bulldogs. Ravens, I think probably going to go with Kalen King. He's probably one of the best players. Been having a solid season. Doesn't have a touchdown, but doesn't have an interception. Doesn't have touchdowns. not playing his best football this season, but definitely, let's say, um, Detroit. I think this is where they probably won't. They'll probably take like, let's see, who else? You know, Josh Newton, or Terran Arnold. I think. God, I mean, he's playing some really good ball. I think Josh Newton is probably going to be the pickup for them. Chiefs, I have taking probably Adion Mitchell. How's he looking this year? You know, playing a lot more, playing a lot of snaps this year. Definitely improved from his freshman year. It seems like definitely improved from his sophomore year by playing a lot more games, but it's definitely being more targeted. So I think he's probably going to be a big play for this team. Now this Eagles team, I think maybe you got to go secondary and Tyler Nubin. Okay, let's see how it grades me. It doesn't really give me a grade. So yeah, guys, that's my mock prediction. Let me know how you guys think I did. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know. Yeah, peace.